your actual truth. So like your purpose is more like, okay, well, like I'm gonna do this regardless of like what I'm getting, regardless of like who thinks this isn't great, whether it's family, whether it's friends. And it's like you have to continue going, and there will be struggles. There will be times where you're like, dang, I feel like I'm exiled, or I feel like I'm not a part of the crowd. But it's okay. Like, but people don't. It's like it takes a lot of like higher, like not even higher thinking, but it takes a lot of like self-personalization. That's correct, exactly. Personalization and self-realization to understand like it's okay. Like you can go through it yourself. And people will come, like, people will always come. Like, just like me and you, like, we didn't know each other for a while. But, like, we came together, and, like, now we're good friends. Even though we don't talk all the time. And we're great friends. And it's like, you don't have to talk. And there's people, like, that I'm good friends with that I don't even talk to all the time. But I know those people, once I see them, it's like a whole vibe. Like, we were just talking with Christian, and it was like, we never really separated. So, it's real.
It takes, like, the self-personalization. It takes a lot of courage just being on the path, because once you set on that path, you naturally gravitate away from people who aren't in alignment with that.
Exactly.
And then once you get in alignment with that, you know, when you get alignment with your purpose, you gravitate towards away from people, and a lot of people get caught up in that.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people get caught up in the, well, me and my friends aren't as cool, or they're not supporting me, and they're not.
Exactly.
But you do find your crowd. Ultimately, you will always find your crowd. You just gotta stay committed.
And those people will understand you being separated, because those distractions, not saying they're distractions, but the people that aren't aligned with what you're thinking, they'll always be like, oh dang bro, like why you gone, like why aren't you around? But those people that do understand, like if we don't talk, I understand you're doing things to better yourself and to better the community, to better like life itself, because that's what we're here for. We're here to be great and do great things, to like lead the youth and lead other people, because I see something you do, it inspires me. And you see something someone else does, it inspires you. So like we do these things because we see and we inspire each other. And I always like feel like that's something, like whether it's gym or whether it's creating content or whether it's like going off and adventuring into the world. Like it's like we're trying to like learn new things so we can get better understanding of like what life is about, versus like just living for these things that are like very like small and
materialistic. With with my girlfriend the other day, and we were talking about someone, and I said we all want love. Like regardless of what people will say, what they admit, it's naturally hardwired within us that we all want love. It's just people are going to lie to themselves and say they're not, because they think love isn't cool, which is dumb as shit if you ask me, because that's like the richest thing in the world is love, you know what I'm saying? So why pretend that you don't want it? But it's cool nowadays to act like you don't want love, but everybody wants love. And the thing is, people either don't know how to get it, don't know they want it, or they're looking in the wrong place. And a lot of people are looking in the wrong place. They're looking in the wrong place for love, and they're looking in the wrong place for that fulfillment and that alignment with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. They be looking in the wrong place. So you turn to drugs, you turn to sex, you turn to relationships.
People that can't
you turn to money because you think that's going to fulfill you, fill the void.
Hey, exactly. Filling the void. Exactly.
And then, but the truth is, you got to throw yourself on the deep end. And a lot of people,
love is a risk.
All that stuff is a risk. Finding your purpose is a risk. Living in that is a risk. But a lot of people aren't, a lot of people aren't wired to take that risk. A lot of people don't have the courage to take that risk. They rather settle for the comfort and the security of either having a job or the safe relationship they feel like they should be in, instead of really taking that chance.
90%, I forgot. It's a high percent of people that are doing
a high percent. Yeah, they say 99%. I
think it's 99 because I know it's like there's 1%, and then there's like exactly.
I think it's not 99 at this point though, because I think more and more people are.
Yeah, because millennials.
We bought that shit.
We don't give a shit.
We bought that shit, bro. We like, bro, I ain't working at this place forever.
40 years. That's why I'm not doing this. I've told God already. I'm like, I don't see myself doing this. I'm sorry. I love my grandparents and my parents. They definitely paved the road for us, but I do not see myself working a job for 30 plus years. I want to be free.
What's the value of that freedom? Of living free, doing what you want to do, waking up and knowing that you get to work when you want to work, you get to take your lunch break when you want to take your lunch break, you get to create what you want to create at any moment. Like, what's the value of that?
Oh my God, this is like, oh my God, this is like wealth that is not even, it's very achievable. Like people are doing this, but like it's like something it's priceless. Like it's not even, it's like I can't even like describe it. Like it's crazy because that's beautiful. Like even like when you were explaining it, like the thoughts in my mind, like that's just like a beautiful life. Like you're creating whenever you want to create. You have, it's not even about like wealth, but even if you have wealth, like you have wealth that like it doesn't matter, but like you could do whatever you want, but use that wealth for your creation and to like help others as well. Like, and that's what it's about. But that's crazy. Like that's wild. Like you saying that, it like made me happy. Like that's that's beautiful. But it will take a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like it will take a lot of sacrifice and a lot of dedication and consistency. So, and like I said, it's real. It'll take a lot. It will be hard, but at the same time, it'll be worth it.
Sacrifice. What it made me think of was sacrificing that average lifestyle, because in order to embrace that new lifestyle, you have to get rid of that old.
Exactly.
You know,
get out of the norm. Exactly.
You got to get out that comfort. Which in itself is a sacrifice, because you got to jump into the fear aspect of it, and dealing with the uncertainty. I don't want to say fear, but dealing with the uncertainty can lead to fear, and that's why a lot of people just stay where they're at.
Exactly, because you have to deal with people, you have to deal with circumstance, and like even you could all day I could be like, oh well, I don't care what this person thinks, but like a tiny bit of myself, honestly, like I don't care how I looked at this person, but like mentally, like yes, I'm going to unconsciously, I'm going to feel some type of way. So it's hard to, it took a while for me to break through a lot of like standards, because I was raised a certain way. We both were. I mean, especially no matter what kind of man, I mean, us being black men, but we're black men in America. So these things, we were raised to like be a certain way. But to break out of that, it's very difficult, but it's very achievable, and it can be done. So it's real. Like it just takes a lot of time and dedication and being who you are. Like that's the main purpose, being who you are. Because if you're not who you are, not down anyone, like, but you're like holding yourself back from like who you really can be, and like your true what is it?
Potential?
Your higher person. Exactly. Your true potential and your higher person. Like who you're supposed to be, because you can't hold back. You have to give it everything.
That's true.
Figure out who you are. And if you don't figure out by that time, keep on trying to figure it out, because you got time. Like when people say you don't have time, you got time. But just figure out who you are during that time. Like figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like, and just become your own self. And once you like separate yourself from, once you start separating yourself from different people, and you start understanding who you are, like what you don't like and like, then you'll be able to like start your own way and your own truthful living. And that's how you'll be able to find out, okay, like, do I want school or do I not want school? And then it's kind of harder for other people, especially when it comes to culture and different things, to separate themselves from, like, academia. But definitely don't let your parents, and again, like, nothing against your parents. Like, you're not a bad person if you don't do what your parents want you to do, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you want to do. It's not about what your parents want, because they're not going to be here. For someone that's lost a parent, like, they're not going to be here forever. And it's all up to you to make the change. Because if you're stopping yourself, then you're not going to be able to give these people that need to see what you're capable of, what you need to see. And one last thing, your parents have an archaic way of thinking. So because they have these thoughts, it's not that they're doing this because they don't believe in you. They're doing it because they feel like that's the best thing for you. So don't ever think that like your parents are like trying to stop you. It's just they have a different way of living when they were raised. And just like how you were raised, you have to change that way, because we were raised based off our parents' influence. So, exactly. Keep moving forward. You guys got it.